We got some new updates in whether we're ever going to see the Epstein files on the 19th of December, as required by the Epstein Transparency Act, signed into law by Donald Trump. We got new reporting about emails, communications between FBI staff about their redaction process, which presumably was both for victims' names to be redacted and for Donald Trump's to be redacted too. We've got new reporting about Donald Trump and Pam Bondi putting the kibosh on the release of phase 2 of the Epstein files back in April or May. That's the reason why we never got to see them. So now we have the emails with the FBI that have been revealed, the amount of overtime that was spent to do the redaction. And then we have a checklist that can be used against the Epstein files to make sure that we're getting everything. And that is in the form of an exhibit list that was used by the Department of Justice when they prosecuted Jeffrey Epstein. They produced an exhibit list. And of course, we have a copy of that exhibit list, including some items on there that may actually raise your temperature and set your hair on fire. Has to do with surveillance cameras, has to do with computer files, and a album book of girls, and it's labeled Nude Girls 4 as part of the exhibits. Those are the things we expect to see in the release, along with other depraved items of the child sex trafficking ring run by Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein. I'm Michael Popak. It's that important while I travel to catch you up on these things. It is Tuesday, Legal AF. Thanks for being here. All right. Countdown has already started till the 19th of December, but now there's new reporting out there and a new responses to Freedom of Information Act requests by Bloomberg News, which reveals the existence of emails in which the FBI agents and others from New York and Washington were trained on how to do the redaction. Apparently there was an instruction video, and there were 3,000 hours of overtime spent on this redaction process to get phase 2 of the documents released to the public. This is all before Donald Trump forced the American people to have to go through a bill in Congress to make him do what he's always been able to do by his own fiat and decision. Release the files. They've always been with the executive branch. They were never with the legislative branch, but this is how we got this far. Now, we know that Pam Bondi originally said that she was going to make this a very transparent process. She released phase 1 of the documents. She even claimed that she had the files right on her desk, including the client list that she was prepared to release. Let's play the video to remind people of Pam Bondi and the "on my desk" comment. Let's play that.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
Now, before even that happened, Donald Trump, on the campaign trail and otherwise, promised to release the Epstein files. You know, that's what he got elected on.
If you were president, would you declassify, you can answer yes or no to these. Yeah. Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah. I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know it. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would, or at least
do you think that would restore trust? Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others.
9/11, yeah. JFK, I'm with you. Jeffrey Epstein, yeah. Well, Why would Donald Trump be so circumspect about exposing the secrets of Jeffrey Epstein, a billionaire child sex trafficker who died in prison, without revealing which of his well-connected elite friends knew about and possibly even participated in his revolting and illegal activities?
Of course, he changed his tune after people reviewed the Epstein files and told him that his name was all over them and that they were worse for him than what was first suspected. So that moves us forward from Bondi's comment of in February or so, they're on my desk, to FBI director, soon to be ousted director, Kash Patel, participating in a closeout memo 2-page memo that said that there was no client list and that there were no other crimes that needed to be pursued. After that happened, Kash Patel went on and gave testimony in the Senate and the House and actually said this about his understanding of what's in the Epstein files. This, despite the reporting that his FBI team at his direction worked overtime to review the documents in 12-hour shifts round the clock, racking up 3,000 hours of overtime. Yet he told the Senate and the House that he didn't have a full understanding of what was in the Epstein files. Let's play that clip as a reminder.
Let me make something crystal clear. I never said Jeffrey Epstein didn't traffic other people, other women, and they're not other victims. This is the investigation we were given from 2006, 7, and 8, and the search warrants from 2006, 7, and 8. That's what we're working with.
Wait, have you released all of the stuff that the FBI has seized from Epstein's house? The computers, the emails, the file cabinets, the documents? What about the financial records? Have you released all of that?
Everything the court has allowed us to release.
Which court are you talking about?
3 separate federal courts have come in and said...
We're talking about the evidence you've got. It's got nothing to do with what those courts have.
Do you have any idea how the law works?
Wait.
Do you want me to break the law in a federal judge's order?
No, I want you to follow your own
curiosity?
word, Director Patel. You said up there it was under the direct control of the FBI director. He had the black book.
Everything I have direct control over, we have gone to court. You haven't.
Complete your sentence. Everything you have direct control over, you said.
Have gone to court, and everything we have direct
Director
control
Patel,
over.
complete your sentence. You said everything.
Release. We're releasing.
Much more has come out in the days since the American people in Congress have been demanding it, but it's coming out in dribs and drabs. Why don't you just release the entire file as you promised to do?
I literally just told you there are multiple federal court orders. I'm not going to break the law to satisfy your curiosity. You didn't join us when we filed court to release the court orders. You could have. You have lawyers. You could have shown up. You didn't do that.
Let's talk about the witness interviews. 302s of witness interviews. Those are not subject to the court order. Those are not subject to any fictional sealed order for a search warrant. Why aren't you releasing those with the redacted names of the victims?
We are releasing as much as legally allowed. That's why we went back to the courts.
How is that not legally allowed?
Sir, do you know how court orders work? Do you know how protective orders
Actually,
work? You know
Mr. Patel, I was a real prosecutor for 10 years. I know exactly how.
So I was a fake one?
You are hiding the Epstein files, Mr. Patel.
The gentleman is expired.
You are part of the cover-up.
Now, as it looked likely that Trump was going to lose politically on the continued cover-up of the Epstein files. He then had his Department of Justice, Pam Bondi, announce a new investigation into the Epstein files and into the activity of Epstein and others, primarily Democrats, in order to try to continue to obstruct justice. Here's Pam Bondi about starting a new investigation led by Jay Clayton in the Southern District of New York. Let's play that clip.
On the Epstein files, does the new investigation by the Southern District of New York U.S. Attorney prevent the department from releasing all of the remaining files?
So we have released over 33,000 Epstein documents to the Hill, and we'll continue to follow the law and to have maximum transparency. Also, we will always encourage all victims to come forward.
What are the next steps, Madam Attorney General, for the DOJ regarding what we assume President Trump will sign into law with the Epstein files? Is this going to be on the Justice Department website? What are you doing here over the next 30 days as we understand it?
We will continue to follow the law with maximum transparency while protecting victims.
Yeah.
When you say follow the law, Madam Attorney General, do you mean that you will provide all the files by 30 days?
We will follow the law. The law passed both chambers last evening. It has not yet been signed, but we will continue to follow the law, again, while protecting victims, but also providing maximum transparency.
Which brings us now full circle. As we wait for the documents, the fork in the road is obvious. That there's going to be documents that Bondi and Jay Clayton are going to stand in front of a podium and say they're not going to release because of this investigation that she has started on behalf of Donald Trump. So we know, I want to manage expectations. If anybody thinks we're getting the entirety of the Epstein files in the hands of the federal government, we are not, okay? And we haven't even talked about the financial documents and records that are in the hands of banks, the Internal Revenue Service, and the rest about the money flow and the exchange of money related to the heinous child sex trafficking. The other thing that has become quite interesting is the existence of the exhibit list in the Epstein prosecution. So there, I want to just bring up for you some of the items on the evidence list, which we'll put into Legal AF Substack. So you've got photographs, you've got bankers' boxes containing Epstein-related case material. You've got large folders containing VHS tapes, cassette tapes, and micro cassettes. You've got others containing CDs. We don't know what are on them. We've got massage tables. We've got photos and frames. We've got the daily vessel trip log for his island. We've got a desktop computer. We've got an HP server. We've got various videos. We've got things that are marked, including that are marked highly confidential responsive materials to include nude and semi-nude images and videos from digital evidence items that were processed. We've got the girl pics nude number 4, whatever that's supposed to be, employee lists, recorders, different types of audio recorders, different type of almost like diaries, photographs, planners, and the rest. That's just from the exhibit list that we know of. So when you put it all together, all this new reporting, you've got the FBI agents working overtime to produce phase 2. You've got Donald Trump stepping in with Pam Bondi to kill off the production of phase 2 of the Epstein files in their entirety. But we know now they've likely gone back to finish the job. Some reporting says they were about 75% complete in redaction. They're going back to complete the job so that whatever they're going to produce is going to happen at the end of December. In the interim, Kash Patel is running around saying that the Epstein estate is not being cooperative on some of the files and documents they want from them. They've run to court to try to get federal judges to continue to release the grand jury transcripts. And then you've got Judge Chutkan's case, in which she ordered about 8 days ago that all communications between Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump be released to the public. Now, I checked the docket on that case brought by Democracy Forward, and as of right now, there's no update as to whether there's no appeal, there's no update, and the documents have not yet come out. So we'll have to keep a close eye on the Chutkan case. The new reporting, though, on these FBI emails about the overtime, the redaction process, and how it was eventually killed effectively by Pam Bondi and Donald Trump, very interesting. The existence of this exhibit list that we can use to check against the final production, very, very interesting. But you also see the sensitive nature of what's being produced. Nude, semi-nude photos. These are obviously of victims and survivors. And no, I don't want to see those photos. Now, if in the photos are people that need to be investigated and prosecuted, whoever they are, then for sure. But you can see there's a sensitive nature here, having nothing to do with just things that have Donald Trump's name or photo or image in that we're covering. So we'll continue to follow the Epstein developments from now until the 19th of December and beyond here on Legal AF. Thanks for being such great supporters. And take a moment and hit the free subscribe button as we continue to grow this channel as well. Until my next report. Oh, last thing. It's a special birthday day, mine. And we're running a sale on Legal AF Substack, 30% off on an annual membership on Legal AF Substack to support all the reporting that we do. for my birthday. So starts today, ends in about 24 hours. Come over to Legal AF Substack. Now is the perfect time to get a membership and a gift for someone else. Till my next report, I'm Michael Popak. Can't get your fill of Legal AF? Me neither. That's why we formed the Legal AF Substack. Every time we mention something in a hot take, whether it's a court filing or a oral argument, come over to the Substack. You'll find the court filing and the oral argument there, including a daily roundup that I do called, wait for it, Morning AF. What else? All the other contributors from Legal AF are there as well. We got some new reporting. We got interviews. We got ad-free versions of the podcast and hot takes. Where? Legal AF on Substack. Come over now to free subscribe.